And we believe that the President of the United States is engaged in a cover-up.
Pelosi has been saying in private that she wants that to be the message. The president is engaged in a cover-up.
Is engaged in a cover-up.
Is engaged in a cover-up.
Engaged in a cover-up.
Is engaged in a cover-up.
Is engaged in a cover-up.
Such significant words that the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi repeated them. Engaged in a cover-up. Engaged in a, quote, cover-up. Is engaged in a cover-up. Engaged in a cover-up.
Most of us have written stories in which you are reported to be engaged in a cover-up.
And he's engaged in a cover-up.
Engaged in a cover-up is engaged in a cover-up. Is the president engaged actively in a cover-up?
He's engaged in a cover-up. Was engaged in a, quote, cover-up.
The president is engaged in a full-blown cover-up.
Cover-up. Cover-up.
Cover-up. Cover-up.
Cover-up.
Cover-up.
Cover-up.
Cover-up.
Cover-up. Cover-up. Cover-up. Cover-up.
Cover-up.
Cover-up.
Cover-up. Cover-up. Cover-up.
Cover-up. Cover-up.
Cover-up.
To be engaged in a cover-up.
Is engaged.
Engaged. Engaged in a...
Is engaged.
Engaged in a...
Is engaged.
Is engaged in...
Engaged. Engaged. Is engaged in a... Engaged.
Engaged in a...
Engaged in a...
Engaged in a... Engaged.
He's engaged.
Engaged in a full-blown cover-up.
I don't do cover-ups. Cover-up.
Would you be prepared to do something differently for the pragmatism of getting more done, to not use phrases like cover-up, or to not perhaps provoke him? Would you be open to that?
Well, you have bought into his excuse. That was not a reason that he did that yesterday. That was an excuse for him to do that. And with all due respect to your question, I do not intend not to honor my oath of office, nor do my colleagues in the House of Representatives, to honor our oath of office to protect and defend the Constitution, which has a system of checks and balances, separation of power in it. And again, it's a question of the American people understanding that what he is doing is an assault on the Constitution of the United States. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. I hope he can too.
Instead of walking in happily into a meeting, I walk in to look at people that had just said that I was doing a cover-up. I don't do cover-ups. You people know that probably better than anybody. So I came here to do a meeting on infrastructure with Democrats, not really thinking they wanted to do infrastructure or anything else other than investigate. And I just saw that Nancy Pelosi, just before our meeting, made a statement that we believe that the President of the United States is engaged in a cover-up. Well, it turns out I'm the most, and I think most of you would agree to this, I'm the most transparent president probably in the history of this country. We have given on a witch hunt, on a hoax. The whole thing with Russia was a hoax as it relates to the Trump administration and myself. It was a total, horrible thing that happened to our country.